Alright everyone, I'm going to show you some images of asteroids, moons, planets that bear the scars of when the gods waged war in heaven with the thunderbolts of the gods. When our polar configuration was scattered and the golden age was ended. When we began to see the so-called Mountain of God and the talk about the mighty hand of God, Mars being the warrior god, and the Native Americans having the nickname for Mars of Scarface, because they saw these scars up close and personal. I wouldn't be surprised if 1% of humanity survived this cataclysm. The Chaos Dragon is the chaotic lightning plasma, I would suggest. The Z-pinch formation that was seen and documented. Many different things were seen and not understood, but they would have definitely seen it as a punishment from the gods, because that's what it was. Very punishing. A couple years ago we were told that massive water clouds were found on this dwarf star, and so I can imagine a flaring event would result in water being expelled in all directions, giving us a great deluge. That could be what this is, the Great Flood is from. And here are the victims of the electricity. When the electricity is repelling these objects away from each other and it is eating away at the surfaces, the different voltage strengths result in different anomalies based on the different compositions of the surface. In some cases you get this sputtering, arcing effect. There are many examples of this sputtering. This is electrical excavation, not impact events. All electric. Everything is electric. Any impact that would have caused these dents would have likely destroyed this object. And here again, it's electrical eating away as it's being repelled. And you can see the sputtering down the side here. massive scarring. Electric discharge experiment. You know, I'm not saying that impact craters aren't a thing. They do happen. I believe the only impacts that we have witnessed have been into the gas giant Jupiter. But when you're talking about rocky bodies, you're going to get a different effect, as they are trying to repel. Gravity is not what we have been told. Gravity is the result of electrical activity. This is what we are learning in the electrical universe community. All of these craters that you see on the moon, if you buy the impact theory, they would all have to come straight down. None of them show an angled impact. And this is because I would suggest most of them are electrical in nature. On the left, more laboratory experimentation. On the right, surface of Mars. And many people were making videos talking about these domes in the center of the craters that are alien bases. But they're not. They're just an electrical phenomenon. Not to say that aliens aren't out there, because perhaps they are. You know, look at the flatness in the center of this crater on the left compared with the electrical laboratory experiments on the right. It just doesn't make sense that it is an impact from an asteroid. This is from the Earth, and the scientists have zero explanation for how this was formed. Here again, electrical. Experiment on the right, Silver Pit crater on Earth on the left. Venus on the left, experiment on the right. Again, Venus on the left, experiment on the right. Mars on the left, experiment on the right. The moon on the left, electric discharge experiment on the right. What happens in the micro also happens in the macro. Experiment on the top, lunar surface on the bottom. The few that survived gave us the petroglyphs and religion. This is Mars. Stunning electrical excavation as the thunderbolts of the gods are putting work in on these rotating bodies. ravaged Venus, the great goddess. The magnetosphere of Jupiter, under high enough intensity, this magnetosphere would light up and become visible plasma. As Jupiter came in with our current sun, it's the great disruptor. And as Mars approached with its magnetic field lighting up, this is why we have all of these. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a good night.